It's very easy in modern life to fall into this rabbit hole where we feel that all of the important things in existence exist inside of this bubble of language, inside of the world of conceptual ideas. We even talk about uploading our consciousness to a machine, implying that if we captured all of the memories and all of the thoughts and the concepts, we would have captured the entirety of what it is to be us. Then we would be able to live on through this machine consciousness. But I realized through her writing that that's only half of what it is to be alive. The human experience is deeply a sensual experience. Even all of our concepts and knowledge come to us through those five senses, but we can fall into this world where we think of the senses as only a way to garner information and not as a thing with which to experience on its own without translating it into language. I'm sure all of you have this experience of sitting down to eat a meal, and maybe you're listening to a podcast, maybe there's a video playing, or maybe you're just lost in your head thinking about something, and you get to the last bite and realize that you don't remember any of the meal at all. The human brain can process 11 million bits of information per second, and the conscious brain only around 50. So of all of the sensory data coming in and all of the thought information coming in, we whittle it down to that tiny fraction. I had this moment reading her book where I realized how engrossed I was in her descriptions, and I was so deeply inside of the experience she was having, living vicariously through her descriptions more vividly than I lived through my own. I would rather read a book or watch a video about meditating than meditate. I find that my thinking deteriorates when I lose presence in the moment. When I get completely lost in my thoughts, I tend to go down rabbit holes of thinking about, where it ends up having very little to do with actual reality. And these things can lead me to a place where I just feel sort of fuzzy and lost and unsatisfied with existence. Every time after reading a passage of this book, I would walk outside and the sky would be brighter, the birds would be singing, I would smell the fresh air with the sea breeze blowing in, and it would be so textual, and it would pull me out of my head because these deep sensual experiences are inherently deep now experiences. You can't be focusing on your senses and be not present. You can do this list where you run through the five senses in your brain, going through what the textures feel like under your hands, the things you're touching, what the air smells like, what it feels like blowing on your skin, and you can run through each of them. When I'm dealing with too much reflection, too much of the examined life, when I'm looking too deeply inside myself and I begin to get lost in this rabbit hole of concepts, it's really good for me to go and just grab an apple and experience that crunch and that flavor and just bring myself immediately into the present moment.